everybody. How you doing? This is your boy Antonio Cheeks, and don't worry, Karen is here. I know y'all start to panic when you don't see her around, but look, we are still headed in our StreamYard, our focus marathon. We are still doing that right now, and we are in day. I don't even know what day we are. I think it's 21 or something like that. But look, this is going to be a fantastic session tonight. We actually are on site at a different location. And if I walk around here, I don't know, maybe I could show y'all my, it's not mine, y'all, but the piano here, where we might get down a little bit later tonight. But right now, we're going to be talking about money. We're going to be talking about finances. We're going to talk about what do you need to do to create generational wealth. And so on our show today, we have back our special guest, Mr. Douglas Eze, and he's going to dive in. Karen got some serious questions for him tonight on what do you need to do to actually create generational wealth, y'all. You know what? Let's get started.
Welcome everyone to day 21 of the Focus Marathon. We are so excited to have Douglas Eze back with us again. And as Antonio said, we are on location. If you didn't know, you're seeing a different background. So everyone, welcome. If you have not shared to let folks know that you're tuning in to tonight's broadcast, please do so now. Make sure you tell your family, your friends. My co-host has joined us from a remote location. Come on and take your chair, and I'm going to switch over.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh my God, it's rough out here, y'all. It is rough out here trying to be the producer, cameraman, trying to be just everything for everybody. We want to thank you guys for coming out. We are sitting here. We sandwiched our guest today. We got him squeezed in so he can't get away, can't squirm out of the questions tonight. So I hope you hope you have your questions ready tonight, and let's go ahead and get into this. This is going to be a pretty decent conversation tonight. This is a serious conversation because we're talking about how do you create generational wealth, and how do you preserve your money? How do you have your money work smarter for you? And answer the big question: is it too late? To get started? Can you get started where you are right now? And so we're going to dive into some of that. So before we get started, man, thank you, sir, for coming out, man. Good to see you, man. Thank you for inviting us into your home. The home is so large, man. We got echoes. we got echoes, and we took a tour of the house, man. Lovely. Thank you for taking on the tour. And I'm going to tell you, we had a workout.
Antonio was sweating. We had to get some paper towels for him.
I'm like, how many more rooms is it? Oh my God. It was amazingly crazy, man, how blessed you are in this moment in time. And I salute you, man. And I know, it's a blessing. And you and I had a discussion earlier. We were just walking. And I said, man, people might be looking at you and saying, he got lucky. And I said, man, that's not true, is it? And I said, it's more than that. So what would you say for those who are looking or aspiring to do more and be more? Because they probably feel it right now. They feel in their self, in their body, in their being that there's more to them. It's not just luck. What does it really take to succeed?
Man, that's a good question.
We got you today, man.
That's a good question. I believe it's all about staying consistent and staying focused. When I first started in my journey, I'm from West Africa, Nigeria. I was 18 years old, graduated from high school, and didn't see any opportunity there in Africa, other than, just going to school and trying to find a job and all the other
stuff. Sure. The standard stuff, right?
Yeah. So I was like, I gotta get out of here, man. This is not for me.
Okay. So basically you got out of there. You said, hey, I want to do something different. You got out of Nigeria, yes. and so you came to what they call the promised land.
Right. I went to Canada first.
Canada. Okay.
but I knew this was it, man. I gotta get to America, find one way to get here.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. I found my way here. I was 23 years old, and but it wasn't easy, man. It wasn't an easy journey. I got a job waiting table at IHOP.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, back then I knew someone that was a manager there, so I was just bossing tables and stuff like that. And then
Sure.
I got promoted to a waiter. You know,
You
so
got promoted.
Yeah.
No, man, that's serious stuff, man. So that's a big deal, man.
So I got promoted to a waiter, and then one day I was just serving someone, and then her son brought a business card and offered it to me, and then that's how I got into this financial service journey.
Okay, yeah. So that's good. That's
yeah.
a good story, because in our first episode with you, we talked about you being in the financial services, and we talked about how you narrowed down your scope, you focused, which is what this is all about, being able to focus. So tell us some of the actual nitty gritty, though. I mean, some of the tactics that you had to overcome, stuff you had to overcome. Come on, let's get into it. Come on, man.
So, I mean, with the insurance and financial services, I had to first get my license. And being from West Africa, being young, I always had that negative thoughts that come in mind that says, how are you going to be able to help someone? You can't, you have an accent, you didn't graduate from college, because seeing people in the industry that have, they went to college or whatever their situation was. So, I mean, it was tough. I slept in my car, to get myself together because I didn't have a place. Because the guy I was staying with, I'd stay with them for, I think, 3 months, and then they had to kick me out.
Wait a minute.
They had to kick you out?
Wait a minute. What's the verbiage there? Had to kick you out?
They're like, hey,
time's up.
Go.
Time's up. Okay.
I mean, his wife basically says, you gotta go. I mean, this is America. It's different. Okay. Yeah. It's not like Africa. Africa, you stay.
You stay because it's a family knit kind of culture.
Yeah. Okay. Here, like they're counting the bills. They got the light, how much water.
Right. Yeah, because that was $2. Yeah, that was $2.35 per liter or something like that.
It's like, nah, man, you gotta go.
Right.
Like, man, dude, you can't.
You're killing me, right?
For me, it's like, listen, dude, I'm trying to get my papers, man.
Okay.
She's the boss here.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
So I bought a car from him. I bought a car. He had an old car, $500. I bought that car from him, and so I'll sleep in his car and then go sleep at the motel. And then I'll take a shower in the morning. So most people didn't know that was what I was doing.
Wow.
So I would dress up, then go to work, and then was doing the IHOP work, and then was doing paper routes. But I knew the business was because I saw the folks that were making money in the industry. And I'm like, man, I want to be like those guys.
Sure.
I want to do it the way they do it. So I just started, and then I went ahead and got my license. And after I got that license, now it's time for you to start, the hustle starts.
Okay.
So I just started working hard, stay focused 100%. There's no turning back. I mean, I had to burn the bridge, man. There was nothing. I can't go get a good job. I can't go get a government job,
right. Yeah,
Nobody's
good government job.
Hire me, nobody's going to hire me with just an African high school diploma. So it made sense.
So go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say so. I'm sorry because we're
like ready, right?
Yeah.
Hey, look. Hey, before Karen take off, for those who are listening, we have Mr. Douglas Eze here in the show in the Taking the Next Step Focus Marathon tonight. And if you have a question, a burning question, please make sure you put it in the chat box over there, and make sure you put a big old Q in front of that, so we'll know to make sure we pull that question up on the screen, so you'll know we take you serious, we take your questions seriously. So so don't forget to do that. So go ahead, Karen.
So I just wanted you to kind of touch on. So you started in the financial services industry. You started making some money.
Yeah.
But you weren't still quite sure how to manage that money.
Yeah, let's get into that.
So talk a little bit about that, because there's a difference between, because tonight we're talking about creating generational wealth. So you can make a lot of money but still be poor.
I was. I mean,
you said it.
I mean, so when I got into the first time I made $250,000 income, I was now about 28 years old.
Okay.
And I got my 1099 and I was like, man, where's that money?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you get a 1099, you're like, okay, I made 250. Where is it?
Right.
Then I looked out, it was in my Mercedes Benz.
Okay.
I bought my first Mercedes was a E350.
Okay.
You know,
E-Class. Okay.
E-Class.
Right. That's the
But I
series.
was young, so, young, single. So it was a different world.
Right.
So,
Right.
but then I had to ask myself, listen, dude, man, you're just crazy. Where's your money? And I was actually saving money, but my car note, because my credit wasn't that great, because I didn't know nothing about credit. But my car note was $1,500.
This was back in when?
Yeah, back in what is it? I got into the probably let's say 1998, 99.
And that's a lot of money back.
Yeah.
Even
15.
right now it's a lot of money for a
Yeah.
car note. So
Yeah.
So,
but you living a life, you living a vida single, living
no
a vida loco,
obligations.
So I had to talk to myself about that because I said, wait a minute, how much are you putting away for your future? You're saving. I'm like, man, I'm only putting away $500 a month.
Okay.
So that was the time I had to say I got serious because you got to talk to yourself. You got to be, you can't. No change is gonna happen until you realize yourself that you need to stop whatever it is you're doing.
That's
Nobody
good.
can. You could tell people all day long how good they could do stuff, but until they realize that themselves, which I had to realize it myself. So I made a decision that before I purchase any expensive car or whatever, I need to save that amount first. So if I'm going to pay for a car that's $1,500 a month, I need to save $1,500 a month consistently for 6 months. And when that time comes, if I feel like I still want to do it, most times when I started doing that, when that 6 months comes, I'm like, man, I like what I'm seeing. I don't want
Right. You don't want to mess that up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just continue. So as I continued learning the industry, learning the business, I say, you know what? Because every family I met, everybody sometimes they have so much debt that they can't save.
Okay. Okay. And that's big, right?
Yeah. So, but everyone wants to do well. Everybody wants to grow. So I started asking myself a question about how are the wealthy families in America able to keep wealth in the family forever? What are they doing differently? Because obviously they're not putting money in certain things that I'm telling people to put money in. Especially when I see folks that retire and they got to go back to work. When I go to Walmart, I see the few folks working at 65, 70 years old, greeting people at Walmart. I'm like, why? So I had a conversation with one gentleman one time, at Walmart. I said, listen, what happened? He said, what do you mean what happened? I said, why are you working here? Then he told me his story. He was a guy that was doing well, but he said, I was saving money for my retirement, but I was only putting away a little bit amount of money, 3% of my income. I said, why 3%? He said, well, that's what I could afford. But I also was not putting it in an account that was aggressive because I didn't know anybody. I just asked one of my coworkers, what you doing? They told me what they're doing. I started doing the same thing. I'm like, really? So, and then he ran out of money. He said, I said, what do you mean you ran out of money? He said, because I withdrew all the money from my retirement. So that blew my mind.
Okay. Wow.
That blew my mind. So that changed the game for me. I said, let me research wealthy people, see what they're doing. So I need to step outside the box. Because again, in anything you do, you can't do the same thing everybody's doing. You got to find something that makes you unique and different. So when I started realizing, you know what, I need to find a way to help families. And first, I got to help me find money in places that I'm throwing away money.
Okay.
So, which is what I started doing.
So look, let me ask you this, because when last time you was on here, you started a controversy with some of the listeners, man. So, and the controversy was you said, don't put your money in. You don't need to be putting your money in the bank. And man, my phone was getting blown up, man. What does he mean? Where do you put it? If you don't put it in the bank, where do you put your money? And so we all know that the bank is not even 1%, I believe, right? It's 0 point something percent.
Yeah. So the thing is this: you gotta always think protection. And you always, so there's 4 C's. So I'm going to start with that. There's
Okay.
4 C's when it comes to putting away money.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
Because there's difference between saving money and investing money.
Mm-hmm.
So different things. So you got to understand that first, because that's what most people don't understand. They want to invest right away. But it sounds good, but when you don't have the money to invest, what you're going to do? Investment means speculation. I'm hoping to make a profit.
Okay.
Right? Huge profit. But before I get to that profit, we as human beings, we're very, very impatient.
Got you. Yes.
You know, we're very impatient. We see somebody making money somewhere. We're like, I want to do that. I want to get into real estate because she's making money in real estate. Well, do you have the money to get into real estate? Well, you could get in with no money down. You hear all this stuff that people talk about. And you never understand the rules. So what I teach is this. The first thing we want to do is park your money first.
Park your money. Okay.
Park your money.
Hey, hold on. Are y'all taking notes? I know y'all be looking and like, okay, this is fun to look at and so, but really get your pad and pencil out. Because someone who has, and when I look around here, the guy has made it. The guy has made it.
It's like, this is real.
The guy knows what he's doing. So get your pen and piece of paper out. It's one thing when you sit at a table and you don't take it for granted, and you take it for granted, that's a serious thing. You know, if you're able to get at the table with someone who can actually help you, you need to take that serious. So although we do have a lot of time, we're having fun and it's good, but you're getting ready to drop some pearls, some jewels on us right now. And I want the people to really take it to heart.
All right.
So go ahead, man.
So there's 4 C's to always think about when you're saving money, which is parking money. Savings is you're parking your money.
You're parking your money.
You know,
that's your savings.
The right opportunity present itself for you to invest in.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So the 4C, the first one is cost.
Cost. Okay.
Opportunity cost.
Okay.
So always think about every dollar, because money does 2 things. Either you're spending money or saving money. So every time you have a dollar that you could have saved, imagine how much it would have been worth in the future because you spent it.
Okay.
So that money is gone forever. You're never going to see it again. So what's the opportunity cost on that dollar? And spending money means money that you go on vacation with, different things that you're doing, buying a car or whatever it is that you pay cash for. We won't address that later. Then the second C is collateral.
Okay.
Collateral.
You getting this down, baby?
I want to be able to.
You getting this down? Yeah.
I want to be able to use my money as collateral to use other people's money.
Okay.
OPM. Because think about it. If I, like this house here, you know, I could have paid cash, but I said I don't want to use my cash. Let me go find somebody that's going to give me the money.
Okay.
So I went to a bank. They loaned me their money, and they used the house as collateral.
Okay.
And I spread it out for the longest term. I don't do 15 years. I don't do any of that. I do 30-year loan. And I don't put a lot of money down. I only put down what I'm supposed to put down. In this case here, I only put down 10%. Okay. Not 20%, not 30%. I don't do all that. My money needs to be working for me. Okay. So the second one is collateral capacity. So my money, I'm going to use it as collateral. Okay. To borrow money. Then the third C is compounding interest. Gotcha. Uninterrupted. So compounding interest.
Oh, wait, no, whoa. You said uninterrupted. Uninterrupted compounding interest. Okay.
Because of the reason, think about it. So a lot of us, we save money, right? An emergency happens. We take the money out. We just interrupted the growth of that money. Okay. So my thing is, I want to be able to do the same thing, but I don't want to interrupt the growth of my money. Gotcha. That's what compounding interest, uninterrupted compounding interest is. And the final one is control.
Okay, control.
You want to be in control of your money. And when we think about control, the richest man in the world back in the day, J.D. Rockefeller, he has 2 favorite quotes. One is, competition is sin. So you don't like competition.
So competition is a sin. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
So that's why he crushed a lot of his competition. The second one is, own nothing, control everything. Okay. Own nothing, control everything. Control is the key. You want to be able to be in control of your money and everything that's going around you, which is where when we talk about trust and stuff like that, I'll address that later.
Yeah, you will be addressing that later because Miss Lady over there got a question about that. She said, "What is this? What is this trust thing? When does it come in? What do you put in your trust?" So whenever you're ready, sir, we'll open that. We'll open that Pandora
so
box open.
So those are the 4 C's, and to making sure your money is working. So when we talk about where to park the money, so I don't use savings account.
That's the one.
I don't use savings account. The reason I don't use savings account because one, the interest rate is very low.
Okay, gotcha.
2, I don't have protection. Now, people think about FDIC protection. That's only if the bank goes out of business. But what if the IRS decides to come after your money and say, "Hey, you owe us money"? They'll put a lien on that account.
Okay, that's at the bank.
Yeah, they put a tax lien or a creditor attachment. You owe a bank money. They could put a lien on your money. I don't want no, especially if it's my emergency savings. I don't want nobody laying on it.
Right.
So I need to put the money in an account that the bank can't touch, the government can't touch it, and also with a savings account or a money market account or a CD, you pay taxes every year on the growth. So I don't want to do that.
That thing just almost flew over my head. You pay tax. Okay, say that again.
You pay taxes every year on the growth.
So if I got money in my savings account, I'm getting I'm getting 0 point something.
Right.
And at the end of the year, I'm paying taxes
on that money.
On that money.
On that 0.1%. Most people don't even realize that you get the tax documents.
Yep.
We've seen it, right?
Yeah, you just take it to your tax man and you move on.
Yeah.
Right.
It comes out of your, they tax you on that. So
could you do me a favor and move your mic up just a tad bit closer to you? Because you know what? Somebody had put on the note, they put down what you said. I want to make sure they're not missing this. Go ahead.
So you pay taxes every year. So I want to be able to put my money in an account where I don't have to pay taxes every year on the money. I'm already being taxed to the eyeballs.
Right.
For every dollar we make, 40% of that dollar goes to taxes. 40%. A lot of people don't think about that. We only think about our income tax, our federal tax, but what about utility tax? It comes out from your paycheck you get.
Oh, wow.
When you go, you travel, you go on vacation, you pay taxes when you buy that airline ticket. So when you look at all the taxes that you're paying, it comes out to 40%. And then 34% goes to the banks on interest rate. Credit card interest, mortgage interest, financing a car interest. So between the bank and the government, two of them, two best friends, they're best friends now. That's 74% of your income gone. Well, we never look at that. And then 23% goes to our lifestyle. And then most people only save 3%. Now, the lifestyle, you hear some financial advisors say, you need to reduce your lifestyle, start eating out, start doing this, man.
But no, what's your favorite food you used to eat coming up?
My favorite food?
The noodles. What was it? Ramen noodles?
They want to go back to that.
They want you to go back to ramen? I like ramen.
I mean, my kids eat it.
I know. There's a lot of sodium in there.
Yeah. When you get older, we can't be doing
this.
Yeah,
we can't. You're right. We can't do that. All right. And no, he said when we get older. Why I got to be included in this one? But anyway, go ahead.
So between the government and the bank, that's 74%. So those two work together to brainwash the American people to keep us mentally broke and financially broke.
Sure.
Because most people get their financial advice from the media, and the media is working for the bank and the government because think about it. First of all, the first thing we hear is a house. You buy a house is generational wealth. Like this house here, this ain't no generational wealth. If you offer me money right now, I sell this so quickly, your eyes really like done. I sell it off.
Wow.
But this is not generational wealth. This is just to create memories for my children. That's all. So they could enjoy themselves, have that lifestyle. So they'll say, man, this is beautiful. But my kids don't want this house. They will never want this house. They don't want to, they enjoy it now, right? But they're going to get married and gone. Right? So this is just for them to enjoy themselves, have no. But guess what I'm doing with this property? I do business with it.
All right, go ahead.
Your house is not an investment unless it's making you money.
Because I can, when you said this is not generational wealth, this is for memories.
This is for memories, man. and to
But then
enjoy.
because I know people are probably saying, "What do you mean, man?" No, I need something like that. That is my investment, but you're going to use it as a business
It's gonna make
vehicle.
me money. You know, so we're gonna rent out the grounds. You know, I'm already renting out the 4 car garage. I don't need a lot of cars. So people rent that and pay me every month to keep their cars in there because they have luxury cars, they want to park in there, so they pay for that, you know. And people do want to do events where they're getting hit up, you know. Some people want to do movies here, so you know they're gonna pay for the stuff.
Right,
Absolutely.
You know,
right.
because I have a bunch of Airbnbs too. So your house is only an investment if it's making you money. If it's not making you money, it's just the bank is just your landlord.
Yeah, because we had and I got a question coming up in the chat for you too. It is like a pretty interesting question. We were looking for a place to hold an event for a
Alright.
group of people, right?
We got one
And
here.
yeah, see, but no, I think so. I think we could. There's the pool out there and everything,
Right.
man, and plenty of places to park, right? No
Yeah.
parking
There's
issues.
a whole land. I have a
Yeah.
whole land.
Because could we
I'll get valet for you too.
Hey, look, when we pulled up, we said, "Well, where does the property line start?" He was like, "Just keep looking." You know, he was like, "It just go on and on and on." He started pointing to something. I said,
He
"Forget
pointed
about
at
it."
a tree line, and we were like,
We was
okay, I
like,
probably need to put my
Yeah,
glasses
I'm
on to
like,
see.
look, we had
really.
binoculars on. Like, what tree line? You know that what in the next county? So, but we talked about control. One of your C's was control. So we do have a question about that, and. Somebody just made a statement like I guess they were trying to really get in your mind. So let's bring this first question up.
Okay.
If we can see this one. This is from Mark, and Mark asked this question. He says, "Control versus debt." Now, be ready for this. If you use the bank's money to purchase a home and put the minimum amount down for the largest period, does debt now? Yeah, longest period of time. Does debt now control you?
Yes. Debt only controls you when you have no money.
Okay.
See, so there's a difference between. So I'll give you an example, right? So if you have debt, if you have money right here, right, and your debt is right here,
Mhm.
then you're not in debt. That means
Because you can always pay it off.
exactly.
You're just using it. You're trying to have the
Leverage.
opportunity
I'm
cost.
using- exactly.
Right, okay.
This is growing and earning me money, making me more money.
So instead of you paying that down
Right.
and losing the opportunity, you know what? Dude, I think I might know. I think I'm getting this, man. I'm thinking I'm getting this, man. Hold on, go ahead. No, but answer the question. Answer the question.
Think about it. So first off, right? Don't buy what you cannot afford. That's the problem with so many folks, right? We buy things that we cannot afford, and then we get in trouble. You know, if you want something and you feel you cannot afford it, go make more money so you can afford it. You know, I never say you don't make more money and you can afford it, and be patient for the right opportunity to present itself. So what I do is this: when I have the money, and I say to myself, okay, what am I going to do? Should I pay cash or should I, finance it? Then I say, all right, if I pay cash, then I think about how much that cash will grow in the future, just me making compounding interest on it.
So I'm just trying to be clear.
Yes.
So you have the money to buy what you want to buy, and you're asking yourself the question: should I take that money, buy what I want to buy, and lose the growth that money would have had?
Would have made me, yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Because you're not just so. For example, if I was going to buy a car, right, and the car is, let's just say $30,000,
Okay.
right, and I have the $30,000, and I purchase the car, and I pay cash for it, and you ask me how much did you spend for it? I paid 30,000. No, you didn't pay 30,000. You paid 30,000 plus the interest you could have made on that money.
Okay.
See, so I'd rather finance it at a simple interest, which is amortized interest that the bank is giving. So the bank comes to you and say, hey, I have a calculator, loan calculator. So let me do a math real quick. So loan calculator, I say, okay, $30,000.
I better get your loan calculator.
So $30,000, you say, okay, all right, 30 G's. So you say, okay, 30,000. All right, the bank say, okay, we're gonna give you $30,000 of our money, which is not their money. Somebody else's. They take Karen's money because the bank. Every time you put $1 in the bank has an agreement with the government to take your dollar and loan it to 7 to 10 different people and charge different interest rate. That's why cash is king, credit is queen, but they don't work until they get married. They have to be married. You can't, because there's people that have great credit and broke. And there's people that have cash and don't have no credit. They can't get nothing.
Right.
They just have to keep paying cash and losing all the opportunity cost in the money.
Because they're paying their cash.
So I have both. I have credit and I have cash. Now, because I have both, I could get money at a cheap rate. I could go to the bank and get low interest because the bank won't give me money because they say like he really don't need our money, but we'll give you take because we know you're a very, very responsible person because your credit says you are. So in this example, 5 years, let's just say the interest rate is 4%.
So we had 30,000.
Yes.
5 years.
The interest rate is 4%. That means the bank is saying, listen, and let me ask you if you're going to do this.
Okay.
All right. So if I came to you and I said, you know, Tony, can you loan me $30,000 of your hard-earned money?
Okay.
I'm going to pay you over 5 years.
Okay.
I'll pay you $552 over 5 years. You're going to make, at the end of 5 years, you make $3,149. That's the total interest you make on your money, $3,149.
Wow.
And then you get back your $30,000.
Plus the
and plus you make $3,000.
Yes. Would I take that deal?
Would you take that deal?
I don't know if I would.
Exactly. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even loan that money to my mom. I'll tell her, no, man, mom, I can't do that. I'm sorry. Let's just go get it from a bank. You know why? Because $3,000, that's the interest.
Right.
I could take that $30,000 and make more money.
Make more than the 3,000. Okay.
All day, every day. See,
so you're saying some things where you're saying it and then people are like, what just happened? I think you got to say some things and then pause.
Yeah.
And then let that people just, let that resonate because that was heavy. So okay. So back to Mark's question, who's in control? For you, you're in control, but I think for a lot of listeners, they're saying, hey, you know what gets us is that we haven't sacrificed or waited or delayed gratification enough to have the cash to do what we want.
So this is what we teach, right? So this is what I teach a lot of my folks and the financial advisors that work with me. I say, listen, we got to help people find money in places that they're throwing money away unknowingly because they don't know they're doing it. For example, a lot of people are using money that should be going to a compounding interest account to pay off a simple interest loan.
Okay.
So when you say, unpack that a little more, just in case, what do you mean by compound interest account?
So money that should be going to a compound interest, like this $30,000, or let's just say you have, like this case here with $552 more car payment, right? So somebody will be like, man, I don't want to pay them $3,000 in interest. Like $3,000. They give you $30,000 and they're only looking for 3 G's from you because of your credit. It's not their fault. You have bad credit. So fix your credit, right? Right. But no problem. But they're going to make extra payment because they want to pay off the car quickly because they heard somebody in the media tell them make extra payment and pay off the debt. And the bank, they get a financial advice from the bank or the financial person that's sitting at the, look at that for a second. Every bank, even a car dealership have a financial person sitting there.
Sure.
Giving you financial advice. How you getting a financial advice from that guy?
Right. The one that's trying to get you into a...
Exactly. So they're going to give you financial advice about, make extra payments. So if you're making extra $200 payment, that could be going to a compounding interest. So the first thing we need to understand as humans is the power of compounding interest. Compounding interest is very, very powerful. That means you're making money on top of money.
Gotcha.
So I don't want to take my $200 I could be saving, put in a compound interest account that's growing at a 4% return, guaranteed. And that account, I know, the media has told you don't do it. Everybody's telling you not to do it. Cash value insurance is where I park my money because I know somebody asked. That's where I park my money. And now you might be like, oh, why? Oh, you're trying to sell me. I ain't trying to sell you no life insurance. Trust and believe. I don't need to. I have 15 policies. 15 that I use as a savings. Why is that? Well, because first, life insurance does not show up in divorce court.
Okay.
So the cash that you're accumulating in your life insurance does not show up in divorce.
court.
Okay.
Second, the IRS cannot put a tax lien on that money in life insurance.
Okay.
Third, it performs savings account.
Gotcha.
Now,
It outperforms the savings account.
It performs a savings account every day, all day. An insurance company, the U.S. insurance companies alone, just the U.S., have more money than all the world banks combined.
The insurance companies.
The U.S., the United States. So because of that, because when I was studying wealthy people, I started realizing, wait a minute, this insurance that I'm selling, because I didn't know nothing about all this stuff I'm talking about back in the day. I didn't know all that. But I started seeing banks put a lot of money in life insurance. Wealthy families use life insurance as the ticket to infuse a lot of cash into the family. Do you know that I could leave you land right now, all these acres of land. If you inherit it and you get it, you got to pay taxes on it.
Right.
But if I leave you $10 million cash in a life insurance check, you pay zero taxes.
See, okay, that's one of those things. That's one of those things where you need to pause and let people think about that. And I hope they heard you. So before you go on, can I say great information, man?
Oh, thank you.
Great information. But before you go on, we have one question. I want to make sure I didn't get that. At what point do you pay off your loans then? I mean,
I paid off in the term that they told me to pay it off.
Okay.
They told me, take your time, Douglas, and pay off this loan in 30 years.
Okay.
All right, take 30 years and pay it. Why am I in a hurry? It's like, one of my mentors, a very wealthy guy, said, he said his dad said to him, never run to get a, ass whooping. Like,
where's my button at, man? Hold on. I don't have anything. Wait.
He's like, if you know somebody's about to beat you up.
What in the world? I have nothing ready.
He said, if you know somebody's about to get into it, somebody's going to beat you up.
Right.
You're coming back from school and someone's going to beat you up. He's going to be waiting for you just stay in the bus and go around.
Right, okay.
And then when you come back, he's begun.
Right.
So why am I in a hurry to pay off a loan? The bank don't want my money. They're not interested in paying off. That's why they gave it to me for 30 years. The banks do are in business to do what? Loan money out. So if I get a loan for a low rate for 30 years, even if it's high, and there's different banks, that's the problem. A lot of people think it's just a traditional bank. Do you know you could use life insurance and get a loan from a bank? See, banks
as collateral.
Collateral.
Okay.
And there's banks. There's only a few banks that do. That's one. If I want to go to the bank route, where I can say, okay, I want to consolidate all my policies, and I want to use the cash. So if I put up all my policies, and let's just say all the cash inside of it comes out to $1 million, right? Just using that, I could take it to a bank. There's some few banks that I use, and I have a relationship, and those banks will loan me up to 90% of the money. They'll give you $900,000 and use my $1 million as collateral. I'm not talking about the debt benefit. I'm talking about the cash inside of it. Bank. Why? If a bank is willing to loan money for life, why?
Why don't you have any?
I mean, why not?
Okay. Let me throw this question in. Somebody might be thinking, and they're not saying it, so I'll say it.
Okay.
Here's the question, buddy. All right. You just said cash in my life insurance policy, but my term policy does not have cash growing in it. Why is that? And what's your thoughts on, I don't think I have to say anymore. What's your thoughts on the differences and what people should be doing?
Yeah. Nothing wrong with term insurance. I have term, I have a lot of coverage of term insurance. Probably have about $5 million on term. But I use term insurance as leverage, so I don't have to keep doing medical exams to buy more life insurance. Every year I increase the policies I get, so I just convert it. But at the end of the day, term is like renting. Casual insurance is like owning a home.
Okay.
Rent, you don't build equity. You own a home, you build equity. Depending on the house you buy too, And another thing most people think is, if I make extra payment on my mortgage, I'm building equity. Yeah, you are, but your equity is still going to build the same way your neighbor next door is going to build their equity, even if they don't put anything extra. So if you have two people in the same neighborhood, one person is making extra payment, the other person is just paying their mortgage. The equity on both of them is going to grow the same. The only difference is the other guy that is not making extra, he's taking his extra payment and putting it in a side account that is growing for him. And he's making more money than, because remember, if I put my extra money in this house, right? If there's an emergency, I can't go get the money out of the house. I have to go beg the bank teller, please give me money. And they got to go back to refinancing, right? Line of credit, but you got to qualify with credit to get the money.
Right.
And if you don't have a job, you can't get it.
And you might be in financial ruin because you lost your job.
Yeah, and most people are entrepreneurs and they write off everything.
Right.
And they show zero income.
Right.
They definitely ain't gonna get no money from the bank.
Yeah, that was a thing back in the day when people were trying to get their income as low as they could. They was writing off everything. So, I don't make anything because they didn't want to pay taxes, right?
Yeah.
And so now if something came up and they wanted to qualify for something, it was like, oh yeah. So okay.
So what do you say to the person who, they're at this place and they just feel like, you know what, it's too late for me. I can't build wealth. I can't turn this around. What do you say to that person?
So let me ask you, can we table that, if you don't mind? I'm sorry. Table that, and I want to get this question answered because it's on the same genre, if I'm saying that right. But let's go here. Here's a question, and it says, so if I hear you correctly, you would discourage paying extra on a low interest mortgage to pay off the loan faster, but invest that money instead.
Yes.
Okay.
Or park the money instead in an account so that later down when the right opportunity presents itself, you could take it and invest it in. Because think about it, a lot of times an opportunity comes, right? Where you could have used, let's just say 10 grand and you could make 30. But you're like, man, I wish I had that $10,000.
The one you paid off the other stuff with?
Sit in your house. Go get it from the house. Go knock on the door. Hey, house, give me 10 grand. Right?
See what happens.
So the key is keep packing your money. That's what I do.
Okay.
And I wait for the right opportunity. And when they present, I'm able to jump and I'll call the people. I say, listen, like I just did one deal the other day recently. I bought a land. It was like 3-acre land. And it was listed for 120 grand. So I called my realtor. I said, listen, can you tell them I'll pay them 80,000 cash? And we made the offer, $80,000. They're like, yeah. Because so I said, okay, cool. I called my insurance company. Actually, I did it on my app and wired 80,000 to my bank account and paid for the land. Cash with the life insurance. So now I owe the insurance company money. But here's the deal with the insurance companies. It's a stress-free loan. I pay back whenever I want to. But what I do, this is what I do. I treat that loan as if I went to a traditional bank and borrowed the money.
Okay.
Because what I do is I start paying the insurance company back. Now, the difference between an insurance loan and a bank loan is this. Insurance company, when I send them a check, like this 552 or whatever, this example, if I borrow the money from them, 100% of my monthly payment goes to the principal first. And the interest is charged on the balance of the loan on my anniversary.
Okay.
Which means it's like a zero interest loan.
Gotcha.
If I pay it off quickly within 12 months, then it's zero interest.
Gotcha.
Only time I tell people to make extra payment on debt is when you owe an insurance company money. Because the faster I pay them, they release more money for me.
Right.
To use for the opportunity.
Gotcha.
Okay, Karen, you had a question. Go ahead. Go for it.
Let me see if I remember. Let's see. Okay. No, it was going back to, is it too late? When people kind of have that thought process, when they're wondering, you know what, there's no way I can generate wealth at this point in my life or this stage of my life. What do you say to that person?
So, generating wealth is people have different numbers, right, in their mind. So the key is this: first is first. It's never too late. So there's never say it's too late, because there's a lot of things you could do to grow wealth. What skills do you have? What are the things that you want to do to at least that time frame that you have? Like the guy that what they call it, what fast food joint, right? KFC, isn't it? Took him a while. A lot of folks took a while to build what they need to.
Oh, Colonel Sanders.
Yeah. So check this out. So what I say is this: at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the first things first is find money where you're throwing money away. For example, the way you pay your mortgage right now, the way you're paying for major capital purchase, like going on vacation, buying a car, different things. The way you pay taxes, you got to find a way to minimize the amount of taxes that you're paying. See, that's why wealthy people spend a lot of money to minimize their tax bill. They're not doing it the way other people are doing it, because most people don't understand how to do it correctly. And, so that's one. And then the way you contribute to a qualified retirement plan, like a 401k IRA, just do what the company is doing. Take your money and invest it properly in things that's going to make you more money. And then there's so many different opportunities to grow money. And sometimes you don't have to do it by yourself. So a lot of things I've done, I didn't do by myself. Like me owning a technology company, I didn't do it by myself. I partnered with somebody that knew what they're doing, and we went into 50-50 partnership.
Okay.
I finance, he's the brain, and we work together. Right? Real estate.
Sound like Apple. sound like Apple. Go ahead.
Real estate, same thing. I never jumped into real estate by myself ever. I never got in because I didn't know nothing about real estate. But I found people that are good at it, that are documented, that have proven record, and I put money with them, and they pay out. It could be a buy and hold, which means you give them the money that okay, I don't need it for the next 2-3 years, but they give you good returns on it. Like one I just did, they just paid out actually last month. Give them money and paid out in 3 years. There's a lot of other deals like that happens. You just gotta, Airbnb. I do Airbnb. I don't have time to be managing properties.
Sure, you got a property manager.
Chasing people down. But I partner with somebody that understands it. And again, I come in, I finance it. There's different ways you could partner with people, and build wealth that way. And you might, at the end of the day, you might not become a billionaire right away, but what you start teaching your family, your kids, the wealth of knowledge that you have, and you're open to learning, will save you a lot of time and headache.
That's good stuff. So let's talk about next steps for someone. They're thinking, hey man, okay, I want to turn some stuff around. I want to do some things differently. So what would be some next steps? You're talking about a mental shift for some people. It's a total, you're talking about generations of this is how you do it. This is how you save. Don't do it that way. It's how do you break some of the cycles, financial cycles and thinking, and so you can make some changes. But it doesn't feel comfortable, right?
Yeah,
I'll be honest, it doesn't feel comfortable to do this.
Nothing. Listen, saving and building wealth, it requires a lot of discipline and responsibility, right? You got to be disciplined. You got to. So I'm from West Africa, Nigeria. We don't have credit, so people pay cash for everything, right? Coming to America, that's a whole mindset shift, right? But I had to sit down and start like talking to people that are successful, and just have an open mind to say, okay, there's a lot of people doing it this way. Think about it. There's a lot of people doing the way you're already doing it. Financing stuff, paying cash for stuff, doing all the stuff. Or some of them, I don't want to have debt, so they're scared of debt, which is fine. I'm scared of debt, but I have no debt, right? So I don't want you to be in debt. I want you to be out of debt, and that's why I help you do that. We restructure stuff, but it takes a lot of discipline. For example, when I pay cash, I always say to people, you always got to think about your future person, because paying cash is called self-financing.
Okay, yeah.
See, paying cash, because you either pay somebody else or you pay cash. But that means you self-finance because your future person. So if you're 30 years old right now and you have $50,000 sitting in your account, the first question I always ask my clients, I say, how long did it take you to get that 50 G's in that account? Man, it took me 5 years to save it. So all of a sudden, in one day, you're gonna write a check and that 50,000 is gone in a account. It took you 5 years to build that up.
Mm.
And then are you gonna pay back yourself? No, I pay cash. I don't owe anybody. No, you owe your future. Because your future person is waiting for that 50 G's. Because now when you turn in the future, you like, man, you've said stuff like this before. I've said it. Man, I wish I had this money, man. I remember I had 50 G's. What did I do with that money? It's gone. And you start blaming it. Like, man, I wish I didn't spend that money. I could have used it for this deal. Well, because you never paid it back. So what I do is I teach you how to pay back the money and put it into a compound. So now you're going to use a simple interest account and put it into a compound interest account. All I'm saying is, like this 552, if I pay cash for a car like this, and I say, okay, I'm going to treat this cash as if I borrowed it from the bank. Then I take that 552 and start putting away. Because if I put that 552 away under my mattress, I'm still going to end up with $33,000. The principal and the interest that I would have given to the bank, I'll still get it back. But then I take it and I put it into a compound interest account.
This is good stuff. So I think that one of the big struggles is when you were talking about go ahead and get the credit. What people were hearing is get the debt. You're not saying get the debt. You're saying use the credit because you already have the money to pay the money off, the debt off. So you're not, when you take the credit, you're not saying, while I got this car I got this car debt. You're saying I got this car credit. Because at any moment in time, you could actually write a check to pay the car off. Yeah. And that right there is a different way of thinking. Because what people are thinking nowadays is how long, what's the payment?
And don't buy a car that you cannot afford. Like, don't do it. Buy something you can afford don't see the problem most people is we always worry about the other guy, what people
following the Joneses.
So don't do that.
Don't follow the Douglases.
No,
don't try to keep up with the Douglases.
Drive. You don't know what's driving me.
Right.
I don't know what's driving you. I can't compete with you.
Right.
Because I don't know what your drive. I mean, man, my drive is different from your drive. There's some other young people right now that their drive is
they're off the chain, man.
They're going. So I don't want to compete with yourself. That's the only person you need to compete with. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about what they're doing. Don't care. Like, I remember when I first bought my first house, and I stayed in the house for a while, and there was no furniture in it. People were like, well, listen, if you don't like it, leave. Leave. I mean, I didn't buy it for you. It's just a place for me to live. If you don't like it, leave. Right. Only had because I was single then, so I only had a bed upstairs.
Right. Hey, look, we got to touch on something that Karen wants to bring up, and that is trust versus will.
Very important.
And what are they primarily for? And people in the chat there, if you want to ask some questions about, or maybe you've had experience with dealing with a will versus a trust. We're starting to hear trust, that word, a lot more. Yeah. So what's up with that?
Because it sounds like, the part of the reason I wanted to ask it is, you're initially we're talking about how you generate wealth, but then I'm reading your book. This is why I'm saying that. I'm reading your book, but it sounds like the trust helps to protect what you are able to generate, if I'm getting that right.
Definitely. So I remember talking to an attorney years ago when I was doing my research, and I ran into this guy's website, and it's Tax Secrets of the Wealthy. And I paid $4,000 for his book. And after I got the book, he called me and we started talking. He said, I'm an attorney, I'm a real estate agent, I'm also an insurance agent, I have all my licenses. And he asked me at the end of the conversation, he said, how old do you think I am? I said, you sound like you're in your 60s. He said, no, I'm 75 years old. I'm like, really? He said, yeah. So in his book, he told me about trust, having a trust own my company. I'm like, really? So I went to the first attorney that I did the trust with, and she didn't understand that. She's like, no, you can't, because she was talking about a living trust. A lot of time, and I thought a living trust protected your asset, but no, it doesn't protect asset. It helps avoid probate. So a will, everything still goes to probate court, which basically means a judge has to make a decision, and it could take months, it could take years, and before your family members will be paid out, the people that you owe money, all the creditors will get paid first.
Okay.
On that's a will, and it's also a public record,
Mhm.
right? So a trust kind of helps you be private, and also depend on the type of trust. So there's over 80 different types of trust.
Oh, that's why we're getting confused.
Yeah, there's 80 different types of trust. So there's some trusts that actually allow you to have asset protection and probate avoidance. So it avoids probate, and it also protects asset.
Okay.
And then when we flip it to another type of trust that also helps minimize taxes, like a charitable trust. So those charitable trusts, what they do basically is, I say this to a lot of people: wealthy people make more money giving away money.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of those moments you had to pause and you got to unpack that a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's different types of, this.
Now you're talking about, you get into the foundations and stuff.
Right.
Now, no, you talking about the secrets of the wealthy. Now you like that. Hey guys,
they gotta tap into my class.
Yeah. He said, I can't. This is like next level stuff right here. Y'all at a free Zoom YouTube thing. He said, this is next level stuff right here.
Tap into the class, man, because it's just the fact that there's certain things you can't really share in the public.
And you can't grasp either. You can't even grasp it.
You look at a Trump, for example, right? Still president, ran for president, won, and still never showed his tax records, right? And he said, I'm following the tax law. And then you look at somebody like a Mitt Romney, same thing, never showed his tax records, showed a little bit, but then showed, I'm following the tax law. You see a Warren Buffett, I want to pay the same amount of tax as my secretary. He's following the tax law. All these wealthy people follow the tax law because there's a law that exists, and the IRS actually says, it's okay to look for ways to minimize your tax bill. Unfortunately, most people use CPAs, and there's nothing wrong with a CPA, but you got to understand who they are, right? Not every CPA understands taxes. They're certified public accountants. That's what they are. So unless that CPA is also open-minded, because they don't have, to learn. Because at the end of the day, it's all about either you're going to be in the box, or you're going to say, you know what, I need to step outside the box. Because there's something, if he's able to do it, why are you telling me I can't do it?
Right. All right. Let me ask you this then. So you said something about you got to take my class. How do people get connected, plugged in? You got a class, coaching or something?
I have a website called havemoneyforever.com. It's very simple. Havemoneyforever.com.
That makes sense. Yeah, that was a good one. You did good on that one. Havemoneyforever.com.
Just go on there. It's less than what's $500. I think it is for the class. I don't promote it, for folks that go, but it's a course that I've done, and then once you finish that course, then you hit me up, and then we're going to go into more. Because first, before you jump, everything starts with baby steps, right? You don't just jump out there. You take time to learn stuff. So it first gets you, because I need to get your mind right before you meet with me, right?
So when they come, so the class, is the class online? Is the class?
It's an online course. It's done, and I speak. You understand everything. We go through it correctly, so you learn what you. There's no fluff. I don't do all that stuff. And you can still go on YouTube and watch tons of free videos. Fine. Or you go to the course, get the course, and we meet. In that way, once we sit down, I've taken, because I need to remove all those brainwashing from the media, the bank, and the government, because the three of them work together. Because you get a job, you start working a job today. The job offers you $100,000 of income. And before you leave that job, they've already sent a message to the IRS that we just offered, Antonio $100,000. The IRS say, oh, really? Your tax bracket is 20% or whatever. So now you owe them $20,000. And then the job says to you, put the money in the bank. And you're like, oh, yeah, let me deposit, direct deposit, right? So you deposit. The bank immediately lets the media know, hey, he got money. So make sure you target him every time you let him know he has 20 G's sitting in his bank account. He needs to go on vacation. And they come in with the, hey, let's go to Madrid, Jamaica, Negril, they show you all the beautiful island. You're like, baby, let's go to Jamaica. Baby. We got money, let's go. And you take your 20 G's and you go vacation. See how I go to vacation? I charge it on my credit card first, get all the points, and then take the loan out of my insurance policy, pay off the credit card. And then I take my time, no stress, and pay back the insurance company. Gotcha. Because the insurance company, one day I'm going to die. When I die, they'll take their money and then they'll give the rest to my children tax-free.
I think that's a lot. Well, a lot of people don't know that if you, for some reason, was not able to pay it back, they're going to get their money.
A debt. Yeah. The loan is due a debt. You could take a loan from it and don't pay, and it doesn't show up on your credit report.
That's a big one right there.
When I bought this house, they asked me, bank statements. I didn't have bank statements. I had life insurance policy. So I sent them my life insurance statements. And they accepted it. I mean, they saw money in there. Right. They gave me, I bought this house in less than 3 weeks.
Hey, look, speaking of closing, get your last couple of questions together as we round this discussion up and out. So type it in pretty quick if you have a question, a burning question, because there is, like, when you type something, this audience, so just so you know, when you're typing something and you hit send, there's a delay in when we get it. Right. So sometimes we'll be like, all right, good night. And then I'll say, oh, somebody had a question because it came up late. Right. So don't delay. If you got something you got to say, type it up now and send it in. Comments, questions, or concerns, like, what is it? You really hit on something about the, in your class, taking a moment to really reprogram in a sense. Because you're talking 30, 40, 50, 60 years of just the same stuff, going in.
And there's some people that have been successful with doing stuff, but they still know deep down their heart that, man, there's something missing. Right. There's something missing. I mean, so because I was in that boat for years. I was teaching people. I had if you go watch some of my old videos, I was teaching people how to pay their mortgage off quickly by making extra payment until, again, having an open mind to talk to someone that was very, very successful, had a ton of stuff, and he said, why would I pay my mortgage off? I'm like, man, why you paying all this interest? He's like, I could make more money with my money. He's like, and this is the first person that I did what they call premium finance.
Premium finance, which is another concept.
Using the bank money to buy life insurance. I'm like, he said, yeah. He said, I want to be able to use the bank money. I don't want to pay you for this. He needed a $30 million policy. And I had to go get him a bank to pay the premium. He said, I'd rather pay the bank the interest. I'm like, I didn't even know they could do it. I just called in and they said, yeah, it's allowed. Wow. See, so there's so many things out here that, you don't hear in the media. They're not going to talk about those things.
Right. Well, they don't want you to really make it.
Because they want you to be, they want the government to control you.
Ferris wheel kind of thing.
They want to control you. Because if I control your money, I control everything about you.
Ooh, say that again.
If I control your money, I control you. I control everything. That's why the government give away all this money, because they want folks to be, okay, master.
That hurts. So Anita said it's a lot to chew. It's a lot because it's a shifting. It's a shift. So Anita, we understand. We're sitting right here next to him and we're seeing the stuff and we still be like, look, you're scratching your head. I'm scratching my head. I was like, what? So I get it. It is a lot to chew. But Douglas, we want to thank you again, man, for taking time out to hang out. And
And listen, Douglas has a YouTube channel.
Yes, we're gonna support this YouTube channel.
It's based on your name, right?
Yeah, Douglas Eze.
Yeah, Douglas Eze, EZE. So definitely check out his YouTube channel because he's offering quite a bit of free information there if you want to kind of get up to that level before you invest in what is it? What is it?
HaveMoneyForever.com.
HaveMoneyForever.com.
He said you can't forget it, Karen. What's wrong with you?
You know, I'm just like I said, I'm still scratching my head. I'm trying to process all this wisdom that you shared with us. So y'all check out the YouTube channel that he has. You can just check out some of his videos. He's explaining a lot of concepts on his YouTube channel. And then if you're ready to make that next step to go deeper in this area, Have Money for Life. Forever. See?
We do have a question, a hot question coming in. You ready? Yeah. I don't know why they be waiting to the last minute.
Okay. HaveMoneyForever.com. Go ahead.
All right. But no, we got some plantain and some roasted chicken and stuff to eat too. So come on, hey y'all, come on, stop. Y'all, they at home eating, man. We y'all get them questions in. All right, so here's a question. What is it? I will review again and send. They're gonna review and then send some questions, and we'll make sure we get you those questions.
And you can reach me on IG and all those things.
So he's on Instagram.
Yeah, I am Douglas Eze.
I am Douglas Eze. This EZE. And on YouTube.
My website, LagoFinancialServices.com. That's my company website, so you can go there.
You put it in the description, right?
Yeah, I'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
Can I tell y'all something? I wish I could put the camera on me. I can't. They working me, y'all. They got me all over the place, man. I'm lugging stuff around. I'm like, what in the world? They got me working.
But it's all been worth it.
It has been. It has been.
You know.
Somebody said my hands were tired. Okay, but here's a question. Let's get this one in. This one is around life insurance.
Okay.
It says, this is from Eva. Can you just withdraw money from life policies for okay, are you correcting
it? Vacation and such. Yeah, so what you want to do, because there's two ways you can take money out of a life insurance policy. You could either withdraw or take a loan against it. So yes, you could take a loan for vacation and go on vacation. So what I do is this: instead of just taking the card, because we know how much we're going to spend, especially if you're doing an all expense paid, like the resort thing that they pay for stuff, or you know what your flight is going to be, you know what your hotel is going to be. So all that, I charge it to the credit card so I can get the points first. So once I get the points, I go on my vacation, have a great time, come back, request the loan, even request the loan before I even go. When I come back, the money is sitting in my account. Then I use the insurance company like a line of credit. You know, like how you get a credit card and another credit card company says, they'll send you a check to
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Same thing, the insurance company do the same thing for you.
Okay.
You request the money, they'll put the money in your account, and then you pay off the loan, and then start paying the insurance company back.
Okay.
Because you would have paid the loan back anyway.
Right. So
pay the insurance company. The only difference now, on your credit profile, it reflects that you paid off your debt.
Gotcha.
In the eyes of the insurance company, you owe the insurance company. They don't report you to credit bureau, so you don't have to worry about it. But it has to be the right type of insurance. Not every life insurance can do it, because most agents are not properly trained, and most of them, some of them are really good at it, but most of them are. So here's the play that you always have to do before you do anything with anybody. Ask them to show you how they're using theirs. Okay?
Say that one more time.
Ask them to show you how they're using their policy. If they can't show you their policy, their investment, if somebody's telling you, come invest in real estate with me, let them show you how they're doing it. Don't just jump. The reason most people are taking advantage of is because people make decisions based on emotion. They get excited, they get emotional, and now they jump. No, don't do that. Ask questions. I show my policy. Actually, on one of my videos on YouTube, I show my policy. I show how I use it. All those things. Ask people to show you their stuff.
All right, I got another question. Question here. I should have did this one earlier. It says, question, got a Q there. My bad. I thought you pay a penalty for taking money from a life insurance policy early. Are you saying the interest is more favorable?
Of course, it's more fair. There's no penalty. That's a myth, right? That's the lie that the media and all these people, that they tell you, because people are going to misrepresent something that they don't want you to use.
I was going to say that. I said they don't want that out, you know.
Because, the key is this. The question I always say before I do anything, I say, okay, where are wealthy people putting money? Where are the banks? The money that the banks are making, all these billions. There's something, you all could Google it. It's called bank-owned life insurance. Bank-owned life insurance. BOLI. Bank-owned life insurance. There's another one called corporate-owned life insurance. Corporate-owned life insurance. COLI. Google those two. And then everywhere you see the word bank, change it to your name. See? So if you see bank, say Douglas, and you see, or put your name and see what it says, and say, man, if they can do it, why am I not doing it?
That's a good question. And then, so just talk a little bit, because I think there's that discipline thing that you mentioned. So when you take out that loan, you have to have the discipline to put it back in,
because treat it as if you borrow. Because see, we as humans, what do? First off, here's the play, right? We take our hard-earned money and we go give it to Bank of America. Oh, and the bank teller that says, "Hey, Mrs. Jones, how are you?" And they greet you. The manager brings you into the office. "Hey, how you doing?" And you're all excited, but you're getting 0.1%. And if your account get frozen, you never hear. They don't call you on the phone and say they're about to freeze your account. You don't get a hit. Say they're about to freeze your account. You go to the ATM and you're like, "Man, I can't get money out." They froze your account. But yet you borrow money from the same bank and they treat you like crap to give you the money. But with life insurance, you could call the insurance company anytime. First of all, they give you protection in your life.
That's number one. Right.
And you could borrow money anytime you want, as long as you have the money in there. So the key is you're using the insurance company as leverage. It's not an investment. So don't get it. It's not an investment. It's just a place to park money. It's a parking garage for money. You're parking money in life insurance. It's a parking garage so that you can now use the money when you're ready. Because I have 7-car garage here, right? If right now my car is sitting in the garage, I'm not using it. If I need to go to the grocery store, then I get in my car and go to the grocery store and buy food.
Right.
But in the meantime, it's just sitting there until I'm ready to use the car. Same thing with your money. Your money needs to be sitting, making compounding interest until you're ready to use it and protected. Why do I park in the garage? Well, if a repo man is looking for you, they'll come knock. They can't go break into your garage. They'll come knock on your door. "Sir, can you open the garage so I can take the car?" If somebody scratches, if your car is on the street, they could go in and mess up your car, scratch it, vandalize it. But if it's in your garage, you don't even think about those people. Same thing with your money. Your money needs to be in a garage where you don't have to worry about anybody stealing your money.
All right, cool. Here's a question for you. Is it better to leave money in the 401k or move it to a life insurance policy? I think a little bit of both, maybe. I don't know. You speak on that.
So
this is going to be hard.
No, it's not.
Okay. All right.
So you cannot move money from a 401k to a life insurance policy. Here's the deal. You're going to have, can you move it? You cannot do a rollover, if that's the question. You cannot roll it into it. You have to withdraw the money and then put it. But remember, this is we're in the front of a lot of people. I don't want you taking that and running with it and go doing that. No. You need to, first of all, I need to understand what your situation is. So whatever I'm saying right now is just general. So just to kind of get your mind thinking. But when we meet on an individual basis, one-on-one, then I get to understand your situation. Just like everybody can have a headache, right? But everybody's headache is different. Different things. Somebody might have a migraine. Until you go, just because you see a commercial on TV that says, "Hey, this cures my headaches," don't mean you just hurry up and go buy the medication. You got to go to your doctor and then he's gonna run some tests on you because yours might be high blood pressure about to knock you out, right? So you gotta have. I need to see what's going on in your financial world for me to be able to tell you the best route and what to do.
Well, speaking of that, then let's answer this question. What suggestions for insurance companies to use?
Call me. I have a good one. I have good ones I use.
Okay. So you can
I mean, there's depending on what you're doing. There's all insurance. There's over 3,000 insurance companies. There's so many, right? So I only use a few of them that we do business with, and
yeah.
when you
So
get
so
my
is
stuff-
Douglas at financialservices.com?
Douglas at Largo
At
Financial Services.
yeah, Douglas at largofinancialservices.com.
Moneyforever.com.
What about the YouTube is?
I am Douglas Eze. YouTube Douglas Eze. Just put my name. You see all my stuff.
Look at that. He said all you gotta do is put the name in.
I'm all over the web.
Uh,
And I
that's good, man.
I ain't hiding.
Yeah, okay. So you out there. That's good. All right, look, man. I want to thank you for sharing your time with us, your knowledge with us.
Your home.
And your home. Yeah. This I tell y'all, we got tired. Well, Karen is in better shape than I am, but I was like, when is this tour gonna end? That was the first floor. And he said, no, we gotta go. I said, oh my God. So thank you again for coming out. We really appreciate it, man. We appreciate you and the work that you're doing for the community. I mean, you're here, but you're only here because you served a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing.
This is Douglas 2.0. I saw that.
Oh, somebody
Douglas 2.0?
I actually have a documentary coming out on Voice of America.
Okay.
So
we'll push that for you.
Definitely. It's coming out. They're just showing, just to me and two other folks, very successful Africans, just showing African millionaires in America. That's the.
That's awesome. Do you know about when it's coming out?
We just did the premiere yesterday. It was real nice, actually. So it's gonna come out. They're finishing up probably in this month or next month. It'll be out.
And it's called, you know what it's called?
It's African millionaires in America.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
Oh snap! Okay,
Definitely.
we got to see that one.
African millionaires in America. Real story. I mean, there's one of the lady. I mean, a woman. She's dominating in the construction industry. I mean, this woman. She's from Burkina Faso. We just came in here, didn't know anything. Got jobs that she applied for as an accountant because she studied accounting back in Burkina Faso, and she couldn't get anything here.
So she did her own thing.
She's her company's worth over 40 million, or 25 or 40 million.
Wow.
Doing her thing. Her kids are very successful. They're all in real estate. She owns a bunch of apartments. But you never know. You see her, you never know. But she shared her story about being a Black woman from Africa and just dominating, man. So
that sounds
good stories,
awesome.
man. Good stories.
Well, good. Again, thanks for coming out. Thanks for opening up your home for us, Karen. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, audience, look, y'all. Thank you for tuning in,
Yes.
coming out. Make sure you continue to share these videos, like these videos, and really just help people move forward and get on the right focus. That's what this Focus Marathon is all about. So we thank you again. If this is your first time seeing this video, whether it's live or recorded, go ahead and do us a favor and subscribe to the channel, like this video, get the bell notification, all that kind of stuff. But
Share
you
it
definitely,
with somebody.
yeah,
Share
I was
it
gonna
with
say,
someone.
definitely share. So hey, Eva, what I'm gonna do is put all the information in the chat. Not in the chat. I'm going to email,
In the description.
I'm gonna put it in the description. So there's post editing and stuff like that after this. So I'll go back, and when you look at this video again, I'll have it in the description of the YouTube video. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. Oh, here we got a thank you, brother. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and put this up here. Thank you, brother Eze. Your strategy is innovative and challenges me to think differently.
That's the whole idea.
That's the thing.
Let's do it differently from everybody else, so we can all win. That's all it is.
Yeah. So we'll talk. So I had to get all that data you gave us. I had to put in the chat the name of the documentary, all your contact information. Eva, I'm gonna make sure I get that out to you as soon as I can. And then when I say as soon as I can, because we gotta get prepared for tomorrow night. You don't want to miss tomorrow night. We're gonna go back. We're gonna jump into the topic of one that Karen needs now.
That is so wrong. Y'all listen, y'all pray for him, not me. Pray for him.
It's gonna be a long night.
Go
ahead, Karen, take it away.
We have a great topic coming up. Actually, all next week, but tomorrow night, we're talking about mental health. So we do invite you to come join us for that conversation. And invite somebody who, maybe they need some strategies. Maybe they have some family members who are struggling with mental health. Invite them to be a part of the conversation tomorrow with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, I love your participation. We love you guys. Thanks again for coming out, and we'll see y'all tomorrow night. Same bat channel, same bat time. Again, this is Antonio and Karen with our special guest today, Mr. Douglas Aze. See y'all soon. Bye-bye. Did y'all hear my radio voice? I was working it today. Hey, good night, y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.